Welcome back to the Ben Mulroney Show. And yes, the Toronto Blue Jays are in a hole, down 0-2 as they go into Game 3 tonight in Seattle. And it's an uphill climb, but I'm bullish, man. I'm bullish. And we could have for you today a sports analyst to talk about the game, or we could do the Ben Mulroney Show thing and talk to you about the Jays from a completely different angle. Very pleased to have with us the Blue Jays official orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Jason Smith. Doctor, welcome to the show, and thank you very much. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome, Ben. Great to be on the show, and great to talk with you here today.
Okay, so you have been the Jays doctor for 18 years. That's a long time. Talk to me about that first day. How'd you even get involved with a baseball team?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was doing one of those high-powered fellowships down in the U.S. I was working with the godfather of baseball, James Andrews. He's the guy that popularized that Tommy John surgery that all the baseball players get. And I was down in Alabama working with him, and, he was working with the Toronto Blue Jays. Alan Gross gave him a call one day and said, we got this injured player, we need your help. And by the way, we've lost one of our doctors and, we're going to need some help up here. And Dr. Andrews was like, we got a Canadian down here. He can fix that Tommy John. He's a great guy. And, the rest is kind of history. Came here, started working at the Scarborough Health Network, and have been with the Blue Jays now for 18 years and here at the Scarborough Health Network for 20.
So doctor, when you say you're with them, are you at every game?
Yeah. So, there's a team of us that cover them. There's a few other orthopedic surgeons that work with them, and 81 home games. You can't cover them all.
Yeah.
So we do about a third each.
Okay.
There was a year there though that I think it did 68 games one year,
wow.
and it just destroys your life. You can't practice surgery and have a life at that point. So we divide it up, but we're down to the games. We're down in the locker room. We're seeing these guys every day. We're sitting behind the scenes for playoffs. We're traveling with the team. We're integrated. We're behind the scenes. Hopefully you never see us, but we're there every day.
A lot of us are. I'm transfixed by the transformation from Skydome to Rogers Center and what they've done in making that a baseball-specific stadium is nothing short of masterful. I mean, it's just beautiful. And one of the biggest changes I have to think, and I'll get your take on this, is the turf on the field. If we go back to when the Jays last won the World Series, I mean they were playing on cold, hard AstroTurf. And today, what are they playing on today?
Yeah, it's a sports surface. It's actually made up of little tiny rubber pieces, so there's like some movement to it. The technology in that has come a long way. But you also talk about, how good the old Skydome looks now. And Rogers and Mark Shapiro and the whole crew, when they came in, they invested in the turf, they invested in everything. But, man, you should see the facilities we have underneath. Our whole high-performance department, they took us from, the dark ages to the cutting edge of sports medicine. They redid our entire facility in Dunedin. We have the best rehab facility in the league. And our facilities underneath the stadium, the stuff that you don't see, from the baseball simulators to the training facilities, like it's the Taj Mahal of elite sports medicine. And so that stuff is paying off. Yeah. This is you're seeing the result of all of this hard work in this state-of-the-art facility.
Well, so what does that mean then? If you've got better rehab facilities, if you've got better training facilities, if the turf itself is better for the hips and joints and feet and of the players, excuse me, does that mean that Blue Jays players get injured less frequently now? Does it mean that the injuries that they sustain are less severe?
That's the goal of it all, right? And, to one, try to prevent injuries. And then two, if you get injured, how quickly can you get them back? And that's the whole sports science of it all. Like we have trainers, APs, chiros, sports scientists, like the dietitians, everything is cutting edge. And, it's asset management. It's if you get injured, you look at the amount that you're paying these guys per day, you're losing a lot of money every single day. So, the focus on getting these guys back as soon as they can. And, the holy grail is not getting them injured. So there's a ton of focus on that, and it is paying off. When I started 18 years ago, what we had to work with versus what we're able to do with these guys and how quickly we're able to get them back, it's amazing what we do.
So what is the most common injury that you have to treat?
So there's kind of two sides of it, right? There's the position players, kind of like any other athlete. You see, these hamstring tears, you see, knee injuries and that. But what's really unique in baseball that you don't really see in any other sport, is the slow breakdown of the elbow and slow breakdown of the shoulder. Specifically in the elbow, it's that Tommy John ligament. You hear about these pitchers, going for the Tommy John, and that's really unique to pitchers.
Yeah.
Now, unlike other injuries, like often it's just, one, you move the wrong way, you hurt yourself, and it's one and done. But with the shoulder and the elbow in pitchers, it's a slow breakdown. Like these guys are slowly wearing out, 162 game schedule year after year. So a big part of what we're doing is we're kind of just watching these guys break down and then helping make the decisions when we need to intervene from a surgical perspective.
How's Bo Bichette doing?
Can't ask that specifically, but man, that guy is a grinder. So if anybody's going to get it back, it's going to be him.
Well, that leads right into I knew you were going to say that. I knew you say you wouldn't be able to tell me. But so how does it work if you are the Blue Jays doctor? Mm-hmm. You're not necessarily the doctor for the player themselves. How does doctor-patient confidentiality work?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So we are, we're their doctor. We do work for the Toronto Blue Jays, but, we're their primary doctor. Now, in this world of modern, professional sports, everybody's got an agent, everybody's got their team around them. So it's never just one person making the decision. We help these guys out every step of the way. We get their MRIs, we give our opinion, but then we also help facilitate. You want to talk to this guy in Dallas, you want to talk to this guy in California. Let's get everybody on the same page. Let's get all the resources we can. And then we help them navigate through this very difficult sports medicine, surgical world. And, then we help them with, safe return. Like there's return to sport, but then there's safe return to sport. You going back and you blowing your whatever out the first day back isn't good for anybody. So there's a lot of data and a lot of science that goes into these decisions every day.
Have you ever had to help a player get over the yips?
Absolutely. Especially returning from injury, just for a Blue Jay or for any athlete. Once you've been injured, the mental side of getting back, the mental side of return to sport, like we have a psychologist, a psychiatrist, like we have mental sports medicine as a big part of our team. And it's valuable for, the non-Blue Jays. You can't underestimate that kind of fear factor and what the brain does in terms of getting back.
The only person I never wanted to see get over the yips was Chuck Knobloch. When they happened to him, I'm like, good man, you deserve it. Keep it coming. Okay, so
it's crazy.
So tell me, doctor, as the entire country is gearing up to watch this pivotal Game 3, what is generally speaking the health of our team?
The health of our team is good. With the sports science and everything that we've had, I think, a very successful year from that standpoint. But, these guys are wore out, right? Like this is game, 169, for them. But every team's wore out, right? Every guy is. But the resilience of this team, their ability to play through stuff, like I've been with the team for 18 years, and I was a big part of that run in 15, 16. And this group is special. Like this group overcomes. Yeah. Like give this team an obstacle. They want the obstacle. So like they're down 2-0. Like this team relishes in that position. Yeah. So, it's like them all year. I've seen guys grind back from some crazy injuries this year. I've seen guys return to games. I'm like, I can't believe you're staying in the game. Like these guys are tough. Yeah. These guys are resilient. Yeah. And, and a little bit of a plug too for, the Scarborough Health Network. I think there's a lot of similarities here where I'm working, in a very underfunded area. And you see, the young athlete that with a single mom and doesn't have the resources that the Toronto Blue Jays have.
Yeah.
And you see that out here. You see that for these guys. You see that grind. You see that grit.
Yeah.
And I see a ton of similarities between my patients in Scarborough to this Toronto Blue Jays baseball team. It's grit. It's grind.
Dr. Jason Smith, the Blue Jays official orthopedic surgeon. Thank you so much for joining us. What a great chat. So really happy to have talked to you, sir. All the best. And let's close out this season the way our fans want and the way this team deserves. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Great talk to you. Go Jays. Let's go.